when you wake up early and you allow yourself to, do these rituals, so to speak, or have this routine, it's so beneficial. So this is my time in here. This is my focus in here, is just allowing myself to take time to myself, to be, again, as best as I can be and perform as best as I can for that day. Good morning, boys. Welcome. It's 6:38 right now in the morning. Ready to start the day. So first thing I'm going to do is get straight into hydration, utilizing Berkey water filter. I'm just going to filter out all the fluoride, all the chemicals, all the carcinogens. Go straight into cellular hydration for sodium, magnesium, potassium, and also with my Gut Pro. This is the number one thing, right? Take this down, 32 ounces of water, cellular hydration. The gut is the second brain. Now I'm ready to get my day started. First thing I want to do is, as soon as I wake up out of bed, I want to be as productive as possible. I want to win the morning to win the day. So I want to get my body moving in forward ambulation, which is just nerd talk for walking forward. So starting this off right away, I go straight outside into a walk. I want productivity. I want my brain function, cognitive function as high as possible. I want to feel good. I want to get my mindset ready for all the tasks I have at hand. Not only to be a businessman, but most importantly, to be a father, to be a husband before my wife and daughter wake up. I like to wake up before the world wakes up, kind of get started before everybody else, so that I have kind of an advantage, so to speak. And again, get moving before everybody else, do the uncomfortable things so that the rest of my day is not so hard. Man, I'm just ecstatic. The sun's up, it's a beautiful day. Giving thanks to God for giving me another day, waking me up, allowing me to put my feet on the floor, get moving, understanding that I have a huge task of being a spiritual leader in my household, as a husband and a father, first and foremost, and then a businessman running Absolute Subs, working with clients all over the world. Just preparing to be a leader mentally, understanding that it starts with me and my mindset. And having thankfulness first thing in the morning, giving thanks first thing in the morning is the most important thing. Being optimistic and understanding all the tasks I have in front of me. So that's how I start my day, man. Always ending the walk, kind of being really attentive to all my surroundings, watching the sun come up, getting that direct sunlight on my skin and through my eyes. So beneficial in every aspect of health, mental aspects, lowering anxiety, and I'm ready to start my day, man. I'm amped up. typically what I'll do, you know, I'm retired from competing. I've been retired from competing for, 11 years now, but I still maintain a lean physique. I still stay healthy. I still stay in shape year round. I want to be an ambassador for the brand. I don't want to just talk about products. I want to walk the walk. So typically what I do is I'll come in here, I'll stand right here, I'll get some of this natural sunlight, I'll take a look in the mirror, just kind of see where the midsection's at. I'm very instinctual with my diet and my cardio. I don't have a per se exact routine because I've been doing this for so long. So I'll take a look real quick, kind of see where my tightness is at, how much food I might need. Your first meal obviously needs to be very rich and nutrient dense. And electrolyte balance, a specific type of carbohydrate, depending on how your body responds to the carbs, protein. Again, you are what you eat, digest, and utilize. So I make sure that I figure out what foods work best for my gut microbiome, the amounts that I need, and I specify the amounts on certain days that I train. So for example, if it's a leg day or a back day or a heavy, really a lot of energy output, I'm gonna eat, more carbohydrates. If it's a basic arm day, maybe a little less. If it's an off day, it's gonna be even less than that. So I cycle calories throughout the week, and it's really enjoyable because it allows me some leniency to enjoy time with my family, take my wife out every week on a date night to be able to have a free meal. If I want ice cream once a week, I have it. I don't deny myself from that, and I'm still able to stay in really good shape. So it's a great lifestyle to have, and it's a passion of mine to be able to teach other people how to live a good, healthy lifestyle, mentally, physically, spiritually, and all those aspects, and still be able to enjoy, to be the best husband, father, businessman, friend, brother, whatever the aspect is in your life, to run as the most optimal person as you possibly can and be at your absolute best productivity. And this is how you start it, with a morning routine. You win the morning, so you win the day. Cellular hydration. We'll shoot back into the office, and I was blessed enough to be able to get something I've always wanted, which was an infrared sauna, which is great for so many different benefits: heat shock proteins, anti-inflammatory properties. And again, it's my quiet time. I'm able to come in here, get in here, it's 175 degrees, kind of reflect on my day ahead, sweat, hydrate at the same time. So when I get in here, is simplistically just it's my time. This is my time to be quiet, to be mindful. My prayer time is in here. If I read any scripture, it's always in here. It's just my time to kind of shut off the world and allow my body to take in all the benefits of the infrared, sauna and the red light therapy, the anti-inflammatory properties, stretching in here, being very mindful of my breathing patterns in here, waking up my central nervous system, and just allowing my mind to, again, prepare for the day. I think it's so important that every individual has a morning routine, whether it's only 20 minutes if you're pressed for time, but when you wake up early and you allow yourself to, do these rituals, so to speak, or have this routine, it's so beneficial. So this is my time in here. This is my focus in here, is just allowing myself to take time to myself, to be, again, as best as I can be and perform as best as I can for that day. Yeah, this is cold immersion therapy. The tub's 39 degrees. I do this every day, first thing in the morning, typically either before or after the sauna. This is gonna bring all sorts of benefits, man. Without getting too much into it, it's gonna make you feel great. It's gonna be energized, it's gonna release noradrenaline, it's gonna help you with the recovery, bring down inflammation, boost your immunity, increase brown fat cells, which is the good fat that you want. At the end of the day, man, this is an amazing thing to have. If you don't have a cold plunge tub, take a cold shower. I started with cold showers, built up to 3 minutes in the morning. It's horrible, but you start your day with something very uncomfortable, which allows your day to be a lot easier because you build up what's called resiliency. And you become very resilient in life towards anything that's stressful by inducing this type of stress by cold immersion therapy. So I'll sit in here for 4 or 5 minutes, right out of bed typically, either before or after the walk or before or after the sauna. I get out, I feel like a brand new man. Actually does this with me every day in the morning. First got this, she's like, dude, you're crazy, I'll never ever do that. She's addicted to it now because it like instantly feels 100 times better. So like if we had a rough night with the baby, we didn't sleep much, you know, teething or whatever the case is, we'll wake up a little groggy, a little irritable, you know, we'll come out here, jump in, happy as can be, ready to go. So it's incredible, man.
I feel that like whether you're on a lifestyle journey or you're on a competition journey, you know, your spirituality has to be at the forefront. That's the only way that we can overcome the mind, you know, because the mind is so powerful and it can either bring us down and destroy us or it can build us up. And I feel that when you have a really strong faith, that's what keeps you grounded.
I mean, what this says for me is Christ alone. So everything I do is through him, for him, by him. To be a father, to be a husband, I mean, to take on the role of being a father is unbelievable. I mean, the fact that we get to raise this little girl, help shape her, mold her into who she's going to be one day, and build her up and ground her in faith. Yeah, it's a blessing. It's a huge responsibility. It's scary. It's a blessing. It's joyful. It's all these emotions in one. It's very busy, you know, but I think it's so important to show her our marriage and be a mirror image so she can see what a marriage really looks like, because obviously the world we live in these days is pretty tough. And we both come from pretty rough backgrounds, our families. You know, I come from a long lineage of addiction in my family. with substances, and they've struggled for a long time, and I've seen a lot of things, and she's comes from a lot of toxicity as well. So when we got together, it was two lost people trying to make it work and fill voids that we couldn't fill for each other. So we struggled for a really long time. I mean, I'm more Caucasian descent. She's Cuban, so she's spicy. She tells you what she feels. She's, doesn't have a lot of filter. So that took time for me to get used to. And, we went through some rough patches, and by God's mercy, we were able to make it and get married. And, man, once we got that born again, regenerated heart and really started following Christ's image for what marriage should be, that's when our marriage flourished, and we were able to forgive, we're able to love, we're able to do everything we're called to do as a husband and wife. And then we have a little one now, so it's it's a blessing, that's for sure. So this would be more of the maintenance average meal for me. So basically it's real simplistic, real simple. It's not a high carb day, so we're gonna go with just basically what's called a baseline menu for me, which is just your moderate energy output, moderate training day. The bicarbohydrate source that I use, and I switch back and forth because I had to figure out what works best for me with my irritable bowel disease. But I've been using these Coach's Oats, which is just it's a little bit different from your typical Quaker oatmeal. It's a lot more heartier. It's more steel cut oats texture. It's easily digestible. I like this in the morning before training because I always train after meal one, because this gives me a little bit slower digesting carbohydrate source to give me that extended energy. Because you'll see that I still do train pretty intense and pretty hard for being a retired guy, so to speak. So I want a carbohydrate source that doesn't run through me very, very fast because I have a very quick metabolism. So I'll mix this, and usually with some organic berries and then a protein, low-fat protein source, typically your egg whites. Once in a while I'll throw in some free-range whole eggs. I have fish oils in the morning, and again, cellular hydration. So always salting all my meals with Redmond's real salt. And so we'll get this rocking, get this underway. This will be meal one for the day. I'm starving. It's a little bit past 8 a.m. So I've been up for 3 hours. It's not going from 0 to 100 miles an hour. It's learning how to slowly climb up the ladder and getting on a consistent schedule, whether you're just training 3 times a week. You don't have to go straight into a six-day split and doing cardio for 2 hours a day. That's not realistic, and that's not optimal, and it's not something you can sustain for longevity. So it's really just figuring out, listen, if I eat 1 time a day, I'm gonna try to eat 3 times a day. And then I'm gonna add a shake and then have 4 meals a day. And then I'm gonna go to the gym 3 times a week. And then I'm gonna add cardio, 4 times a week. And it's slowly increasing. And every year you'll find yourself being a little more intense, a little more thoroughly thought out with your day, executing your nutrition, and then you see your body changing. And when you see the results, I think that's the biggest problem, is people don't see results. And they get really frustrated, and they're like, well, I'm not seeing anything anyway, so why do I, what's the point, right? It takes time, it takes consistency. Rome wasn't built in a day, as cliche as that is. It's very true. It takes time. Baby steps. That's all I can say is baby steps. Start slow, build up, get the nutrition first. I mean, without proper nutrition, you can never outwork a bad diet. So just get the nutrition down. Implement some cardio, get some weight resistant training 2-3 times a week, and then slowly build up from there. And man, 4 or 5 years down the road, you could look back and be like, man, I can't believe I used to look like that or feel like that. And you're just in that mindset now, and it's just incredible. It's a life changer, So baby steps, I would say, is the biggest thing. I always tell people, because a lot of wrestlers will come to me, like indie wrestlers or guys that are just starting, and they're like, I want to look like EC3. And me and him have this conversation a lot. Because he inspires people. I mean, he's in shape year around, which is very difficult to do. His body fat is extremely low, and I just tell him, you're not going to look like him. That's not for me to be mean to you or to be negative in any connotation like that. It's to be realistic. You have to look the best that you can look. You have to focus on yourself. Don't compete
with everybody else on social media or online, you're going to get caught in that conundrum of never being satisfied by competing with other people. Find the validation within yourself to be satisfied with your progress and continue to level up your progress to look the best that you can look. So comparing yourself with some of these elites is not helpful, it's not healthy, and it's simply not realistic. So you figure out what you want to look like for yourself and try to achieve that and give it time. Every year you get better, every year you level up, whether it be business, whether it be mental, capacity or aspects, whether it be physical or everything combined, they all kind of work synergistically together. And you go from there and you make it better every single year, every day, every week, every month, baby steps to move forward in a forward progression so that you get better and better.
Trying to catch my breath and collect my thoughts. It was a great little fast arm session, and I feel great today. It was a great morning routine, guys. Thank you so much for following along. I hope that watching some of the rituals that I do in the morning, so to speak, and the routine aspect of my morning to win the morning, to win the day. It's only 10:57. We've done cardio, we've done a walk. You guys joined me with a sauna. You've joined me with a cold plunge routine. You joined me with cellular hydration, coffee time, breakfast, family time, most importantly, a little step into my life, into my reality. There's a lot of facades on Instagram and social media as a whole, and this was pretty much as real as it gets. This is my day-to-day life. It's not perfect. Nobody's life is. You should never strive to be perfect because you'll never meet that standard. However, you have to find validation and fulfillment in your relationship with Christ first and foremost. And everything else trickles out after your life, whether it be success in business, relationships, marriage, parenting, whatever the case may be, guys. Just remember, at the end of the day, you don't need validation from anybody else but your Heavenly Father, number one. Number two, you have to do what you love to do. You have to find passion and enjoyment, true enjoyment in what you love to do, and make every day count. You have to understand that every day is a gift. Every time you put your feet, plant them on the floor firmly, and you have breath to breathe, you are privileged. You're at an advantage. There's many people sitting in hospital beds that wish they were able to just get up and work out, or people in third world countries that wish they had clean water at their disposal and food, whether it's a low carb diet, high carb diet, keto diet, doesn't matter. You're able to get food, you're able to eat, you have a roof over your head. You guys, stop complaining and enjoy what you have and feel privileged and thankful for what you have, everything you have. So that's what I think about on a day-to-day basis. I came from Very quiet, small town outside of Tallahassee, Florida, on a dirt road in a mobile home with dreams and aspirations. Was homeless at one point, barely graduated high school, and I can say that proudly because it doesn't dictate your future. You can work hard, you can put the effort in each and every day, day in and day out, whether it be working out, business, your routine, your family, your marriage, whatever the case may be. It's up to you to put the work in at the end of the day. Trust God, and He will direct all your paths. Simple as that. So it's a lot of thoughts. My mind races all day long, and I try to collect them. But first and foremost, at the end of the day, the whole message of everything is work hard, be thankful, give the glory to God, and keep moving, guys. So again, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something, and I hope you leave motivated to understand you win the morning to win the day for the absolute lifestyle. Thank you, guys. God bless.